The fact that I had a little success in the garden makes me confident. Even if I can't contribute that to myself. Like, it's from the information I learned, Mother Nature, having, the resources, like, to be able to be involved, like, not worrying about money too much, or having a little bit of extra time to do that stuff. And having access to the resources. Like, in the garden, it was really nice to just be able to use water freely. I think, too, thanks to, like, most of society being so lacking in knowledge about gardening.
Yeah. Right.
I'm pretty, like, capable compared to most people. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't feel the same if I was around people that knew way more.
Yeah.
But that's fine too. Then I'd feel confident knowing that I have this, like, umbrella of protection of people around me that can help me out.
Yeah. And when you met your challenges with certain things not coming up, how do you think that didn't deter you? I'm hearing that you kept moving. Can you tell me why?
I'm gonna help him real quick.
Sure.
I don't know. I think compared to all the other challenges in life that I've dealt with, that's it's a pretty low key challenge.
Right. Okay.
And I have food security. It's not like I was depending on eating that food and stressing out. Like, I'm not, going to starve because my food's not growing.
Yeah.
So at least I have the security of knowing I can go to the supermarket.
You can just tell me when you want to stop. I'll just keep going until you tell me you want to stop.
What's the matter, buddy?
Mo. Oh, Mo. Hey.
Okay. You want to come sit, Mama?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever, it's no pressure at all, so just tell me when you want to stop, and I'll just keep going until I hear from you. But we have, 2 more pages, but if you want to stop earlier, totally cool.
I'm good for now.
Okay. Yeah. Are you planning on gardening in 2018?
Is it 2018 now, I guess? Yeah. I'm gardening at home. We've got, actually today, I'm going to try to clear out some bed space and plant some seedlings that were actually successful, so that's nice. I'm not going to have my own plot at the community garden, but I did tell them I'd like to be involved with, helping out.
Yeah.
Here and there. So I'm planning on doing that at some point.
Yeah.
I might actually wander up there today and see if anything's anyone's there.
And your decision not to have the plot, was that mostly based on the things we described earlier with the childcare issues and things like the heat and things like that, or having to pack? And is there anything else?
Yeah, it's pretty much to alleviate the stress of having my own thing that I needed to worry about taking care of. I'd rather just go chip in and help other people out. Okay.
And now we're going to switch to talk about your approach to eating. Can you describe how you eat in general terms? For example, someone might say that convenience is really important to them, like you described with your family, so they eat a lot of frozen meals and fast food, or someone else might say they make mostly home-cooked meals.
Now, growing up, I did not have a healthy diet at all. It was Hostess cakes and frozen meals, fast food. And then as I traveled and became exposed to other cultures, in my late teens and 20s, I kind of transitioned into eating a healthier diet, especially when I lived in the Mediterranean. And I just got out of the habit of eating those processed foods and don't find them enjoyable anymore. Yeah. It's very important for me to eat a balanced diet, first of all, according to, kind of the food plate, minus the dairy. Our household is vegan now. So it's important to me to eat a vegan diet based on my research with, the dairy industry and meat industry, and the, more that I'm learning about how dairy and meat impacts the human body, especially the way it's produced now. I've started working on, I've always had a sweet tooth, So like cutting down on sugar, also cutting down on salts. Actually, I did notice that when I went vegan, I ended up like eating a little bit more processed food sometimes because I was learning how to like cook, make convenient, quick meals that were vegan, but like also having a young child.
Yeah.
But we've actually kind of made a rule in the house to like cut back on that stuff. Like I started eating way more potato chips just to like get calories in.
Yeah.
Yeah, my focus is really like eating enough because with having the young child, working physically a few days a week, plus like all the physical stuff I do at home, I find it hard to just keep up on calories and energy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much just important to eat healthy. Like if people come to my house, like my siblings' kids, you know, they eat more like the style of when we grew up.
Yeah.
And when they come to my house, they eat well.
Yeah.
And they're making smoothies. The kids are making smoothies with me, my nieces and nephews, and salads with me. And they don't do that at home. And their parents are like, they don't do that. They want to do that at home with me. It's because you give them the option not to.
Right.
And my stepson, you know, he has an awful diet like half the time in this other household. So we have a lot of like conflict with him just eating well here and him thinking that's like evil to not eat as much sugar, be allowed to eat as much sugar and junk as he wants. But we also give him the choice. So, you know, we go to a friend's house and he's offered meat or dairy. Like he's allowed to make his decision to eat that, and he always chooses to eat that. Yeah. But we still like have to monitor proportions and because he'll eat till he goes sick. Yeah. But, you know, Mo, he's just on a vegan diet. And I don't know if, you know, I guess if he goes, growing up, if he goes to friends' houses or wants to try some of those foods, he can. But I honestly don't think he's going to want them. Yeah. Because he's already kind of shown that. Like, I think he tried, it was fish that someone had. And he like put the fish near his face and like smelled it and then he wouldn't even touch it. Yeah. And usually he tries everything else. Okay. So it's interesting to me to know like how his body would even cope with that stuff. And you know, I accidentally bought something that was had dairy in it. It was like a hazelnut spread. Thought it was non-dairy, and both of us ate it, and we both had very upset stomachs. Okay. From it. So I think I'm interested in basically maintaining that healthy diet so that our bodies like reject all the nasty stuff basically. Yeah. So that's a habit to eat that way. So it's not a chore. Like I know for my husband, it's kind of a chore for him to eat well. And like, for a snack to go get a piece of fruit is a chore for him and very unappealing. Yeah. Also for my stepson, whereas me and Mo will just eat fruit and veggies alone, and that's fine with us and enjoyable to us. Yeah.
And with that, how long have you all been eating vegan or cutting out salt and sugar in your diets?
We've been eating vegan for about just over a year. Okay. And we've been cutting out salt and sugar probably just like more salt probably just the last few months. Sugar probably like the last 6 months. Okay. Which actually the sugar part kind of came naturally for me because going vegan, it was much harder to conveniently eat sugar, like with candy and cakes and baked goods and whatnot. Yeah. That kind of happened naturally to where I've noticed that that sugar is a lot less appealing to me, and a lot of things just taste way too sugary to me and aren't enjoyable. Okay. And then now that I've been focusing on the salt thing, I'm finding the same with that too. Yeah.
Okay. And with all this happening in the year, do you see any connection in your diet changes and your participation in gardening?
I don't see the connection. Okay. Truthfully. Okay. No. Okay.
And this next question is kind of long. I'll just read it to you. Can you list and describe for me in general terms what kind of food you eat for each meal and for your snacks? For example, someone might say, for breakfast I eat mostly oatmeal and a banana. For lunch I usually eat a sandwich like ham and cheese or a piece of pizza with a Coke. For dinner I usually cook a meal for my family like spaghetti with meatballs.